The Truman Show, directed by Peter Weir and written by Andrew Niccol, is a 1998 science fiction drama film. Jim Carrey's portrayal of Truman Burbank remains one of the most unforgettable characters in modern cinema history. The film tells the story of a man living in a fabricated world who begins to question the reality of his life. However, it is not just a simple story. The film delves into profound themes such as the search for freedom, media criticism, and the perception of reality. Truman Burbank lives in a quaint town called Seahaven Island. On the surface, he appears to have a perfect life, a good job, a loving wife, and a friendly neighborhood. However, Truman's life is an illusion. He was born and raised in the world's largest television studio, and his entire life has been broadcast 24/7 to millions of viewers. Seahaven is a massive dome housing an artificial town. Everything in this world, from the sun to the moon, the sea, and even the weather, is technologically controlled. Everyone around Truman is an actor. His mother, father, friends, and even his wife, Meryl, are playing roles. Seahaven is a perfect prison for Truman. The purpose of this world is to present Truman's life as a documentary show. However, Truman is unaware of this reality. 1. Critique of media. The film highlights how modern society is manipulated by the media. Truman's life is designed for ratings and advertising revenue. Christof, the show's creator, turns Truman into a product rather than an individual. The influence of media on viewers is illustrated by the millions who tune in to watch the program. 2. The search for freedom. Truman's quest is a struggle to take control of his own life. The film symbolizes an individual's desire to break free from the boundaries imposed by the system. As Truman begins to notice the artificiality around him, his determination to go beyond these boundaries intensifies. 3. Reality and perception. The film asks, what is real? When Truman discovers the falsehood of his world, viewers are prompted to question how much of their own lives are real. This theme philosophically echoes Plato's allegory of the cave. Truman begins to notice specific repetitions in his life. The same greetings from his neighbors, suspicious dialogues on the radio, and other odd occurrences lead him to question his reality. One of the funniest moments arises when Truman's suspicion leads him to make spontaneous changes in his routine. He circles back home unexpectedly, forcing the actors around him to scramble into their positions. This chaotic scene, including actors hurriedly setting up fake storefronts, highlights the absurdity of the constructed world. One of the most significant catalysts for Truman's transformation is Sylvia, a girl he met during his high school years. Although Sylvia tries to reveal the truth about the world to Truman, she is removed from the set by the producers. However, her impact on Truman leaves a lasting mark. Determined to challenge the boundaries of his life, Truman sets sail into the sea. Christof creates a storm to stop him, but Truman persists. This scene demonstrates the resilience of the human spirit in its quest for freedom. Earlier, Truman's attempt to book a flight or travel by bus is met with hilariously ridiculous obstacles, like a broken bus or exaggerated posters warning about the dangers of travel. These moments add humor, while underlining the extremes taken to keep Truman in Seahaven. Truman reaches the limits of the artificial world and confronts Christof. Christof attempts to persuade Truman to stay by emphasizing the dangers of the outside world and the comfort of the life he has known. However, Truman chooses to step into the unknown. His final moments in Seahaven are iconic. He turns to the camera, smiles, and delivers his famous line, "Good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night." This farewell resonates with the audience as both a triumphant declaration of independence and a bittersweet goodbye to the only world he has ever known. As he walks through the doorway, the camera lingers, capturing the profound courage it takes to leave behind a safe but artificial existence for the uncertainty of freedom. Truman's choice to embrace reality despite its potential dangers symbolizes the essence of human determination and the pursuit of truth. The show's sudden ending leaves the millions of viewers hilariously confused about what to do next, with some casually switching channels, further reflecting on society's dependency on entertainment. Christof is portrayed as a godlike figure in the film. He controls every aspect of Truman's life and justifies his actions under the guise of creating a perfect world. His manipulative behavior serves as a critique of how modern systems often suppress individual free will for their own interests. The use of fisheye lenses and hidden camera angles throughout the film gives viewers the sense of watching Truman from the perspective of a television audience. This technique allows viewers to empathize with Truman while maintaining a critical distance. The bright and pastel tones of Seahaven Island symbolize a perfect yet artificial world. As Truman gets closer to the truth, the colors shift to darker, more realistic tones. Philip Glass's minimalist score underscores the emotional tension and highlights Truman's determination. The Truman Show is a masterpiece that examines the search for freedom, the perception of reality, and media manipulation. The film invites every viewer to question their own lives. Truman's final step through the doorway is a powerful message. Every individual must confront their reality and choose freedom over comfort. The film cleverly blends drama and comedy, making its profound messages accessible and entertaining. Truman's journey reminds us of the resilience needed to seek the truth and the humor we often find along the way. It is a profound reminder of the courage it takes to embrace the unknown and live authentically. The film opens with Truman Burbank stepping through the doorway into the real world. The camera zooms out to reveal a vast and bustling city, symbolizing a stark contrast to the idyllic yet artificial Seahaven. Truman's initial expression, a mix of awe, confusion, and excitement, sets the tone for the sequel. As Truman steps into reality, he is greeted by a mob of reporters and fans. The world knows him as the protagonist of a 30-year-long television phenomenon. While some celebrate his bravery, others view him as an unwitting victim of a grand exploitation. Truman, overwhelmed by the attention, quickly retreats to Sylvia, the woman who had tried to reveal the truth to him years ago. Their reunion is heartfelt, marking a moment of triumph and relief. Truman's interactions with modern technology provide moments of humor. For example, he might hilariously struggle with a smartphone, mistaking it for a television remote, or be baffled by automated doors that don't require a dramatic exit. The film delves deeper into Christof's psyche. He defends his actions, claiming that Truman's life was a work of art and that the audience had a deep emotional connection to him. Christof's arrogance and God complex are juxtaposed with moments of vulnerability, showing his inability to let go of Truman. Christof attempts to start a new show using a different protagonist, but public backlash and legal restrictions make it impossible. His obsession with Truman drives him to personally confront his former star. Truman embarks on a journey to discover who he truly is outside of the show. He visits the real locations that were mimicked in Seahaven, meets people who had watched his life unfold, and even reconnects with his biological family. These experiences are emotional and transformative. Truman, visiting a beach for the first time, is startled when the waves actually move, unlike the mechanical ocean of Seahaven. The world's fascination with Truman doesn't end when the show does. Documentaries, merchandise, and unauthorized biographies flood the market. Truman's attempts to lead a normal life are constantly interrupted by fans and paparazzi. Using his platform, Truman becomes an advocate for ethical media practices. He starts a foundation to support those exploited by the entertainment industry. His speeches and interviews resonate globally, turning him into a symbol of resilience and authenticity. Truman confronts Christof one final time. The meeting is intense, filled with unresolved emotions. Christof, still believing he acted in Truman's best interest, offers him a chance to return to Seahaven, this time with full awareness and creative control. Truman, now fully aware of his own worth, firmly declines. Truman returns to Seahaven briefly, not as a resident but as an outsider. Standing at the edge of the fabricated ocean, he reflects on how far he's come. The scene is both nostalgic and empowering, showing his growth and newfound independence. The film ends with Truman and Sylvia walking hand in hand through a bustling city, symbolizing his integration into the real world. As they disappear into the crowd, the camera tilts upward to show a clear, boundless sky, a visual metaphor for Truman's limitless future. The credits roll as viewers are reminded of Truman's iconic line, "Good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night."